is Alandino, and today I will be showing you guys how to prevent shoulder injuries by just using a simple band. And as you guys know, many different athletes have suffered of different type of injuries. Shoulders issues is very common in water polo players and in swimmers, and it is because it's one of the primary muscles that they use to move in the water. Today I will be showing you guys um, how doing certain exercises that we can include in our workouts. And as you guys know, there are many different ways that we can get injured with shoulders. And one of the common ways that we can get injured is because we just don't know how to train, and we start working out by ourselves. Start working out with big muscles like biceps, back, and chest, and we forget about our important muscle that we have to train. As a swimmer, we forget about training the rotator cuff that is over on the back shoulder muscle. And also the second reason is because we just forget about resting. We don't get enough rest and we just overtrain. As an athlete, rest is one of the primary things to be a good athlete. So now that I have talked to you about how athletes get injured by just overtraining and just they don't lack of strength, I want to tell you about how we can use the bands to minimize the injuries and pains. So first of all, the band is something that is gonna give you endurance in your muscle, because it's something that you're gonna be resistant, you're gonna do in the whole movement, and also gonna help you in the flexibility. If you have flexibility, it's very helpful that you won't get, most likely you won't get injured. And now that I've talked to you about how good is the bands that we can prevent the injuries and pains, as a swimmer, I'm gonna talk to you about what exercise we can do. So many people aren't like very familiar with external rotation. So people will go to the gym and start doing exercises like internal and start working out here. And we're pretty strong with this one. If you see, I can do it pretty quick and pretty fast. But if we go to the external, I recommend everyone to do this exercise by doing this external 15 reps, control the motion, and remember that you have to put your shoulder blades all the way back so you can use the rotator cuff actually. If you don't go, your shoulder blades don't get tight enough, you're working on your back and you're not working with your rotator cuff. So another exercise that we can use for the external rotation, that is our weakness, we can put it right here. Can you hold it for me, please? Thank you. We can stay here and we can do 90 degrees. That's external rotation. We can do 15 reps, and remember the shoulder blade needs to be together. You can do it on both sides. 15 reps. Remember to control, and the elbow has to be 90 degrees. That's the most important thing in this exercise. Also, another exercise that you can do is go across and doing the external rotation. I'm showing the external rotation because it's one of the weaknesses that we have as an athlete. So it's going like this. This one is the one that is external. You can see how I'm having difficult because this is pretty weak compared to this side. If I go like this, it's gonna be pretty easy for me, because the internal we're always working out. So as I talked about the swimmers that always have shoulders injuries and how we can prevent them by just doing simple exercises like that, I recommend everyone to do it. As a personal experience, I suffer of tendonitis, and I wouldn't like to see anyone suffer of tendonitis and being out of the pool of the sport by 2 months as I did. So one of the quotes that I chose was, resistance exercise is most common and effective exercise for strengthening the shoulder stabilizing muscle, by Cheung Cho. And another one that it says, this lack of consensus regarding to the management of swimmer's shoulder has prompted an evaluation of acupuncture, which can be an effective modality to apply as a part of sport medicine, by Chi Ye. So they were saying there that the athletes that overtrain, they're getting shots to recover themselves, and just by this natural example of doing this exercise, we can prevent those injuries. Thank you for listening.
Question: is the external or internal muscle stronger?
The internal is stronger, and it is because we're so used to do the movement, like as swimmers we're so used to go to the front every single time, and we're not going to the backstroke, so we don't work those muscles so much.
Oh.
Okay, thank you for listening.